Hi Anna. So, first of all, dates and timescale. I am going to be placing my next import order in about a week's time, so probably Friday the 12th. I'm very busy on site next week, so we have, if you want to be part of the next import order, we need to be efficient with the last few changes and design thoughts. Don't feel under pressure, because if we don't get your parts ordered Friday the 12th, I'll be ordering again mid-October. That will give us an install date in November. If we get your parts included on the Friday the 12th order, we can install mid-October. So let's go through the latest thoughts. You've asked me to look again at box room 1 with the gliding shoe storage facing the door entry, so those components can slide in and out easily. Now, as you can see, I've done two versions, one with shelves, one with hanging. This gives almost impossible access to the hanging clothes. Anything that's put on that rail is going to need to be threaded through and hooked onto it. It's got to be threaded through this gap. Same on the other side. You're passing the clothes through a very small gap. If this is full of clothes, it becomes even harder to grab stuff from the back, wiggle it past and get it out. This is a non-starter in my opinion. It's a terrible design. Okay, let's look at, that's box room 1C3, let's look at box room 1C4. This is the version with shelves. Now I'm going to show you without the see-through shell. Now I'm going to make that see-through, and you can see that I've used stock sizes of shelves, so they're passing through the walls. Just ignore that. Okay, just don't let that distract you. That's where the wall is, that's where the shelves finish. Similar problem. Imagine trying to get your hands through and into folded clothes in here. Look at this gap we're trying to work through between here and here, here and here. It's this line here. Let's just go back into solid for a minute. It's not as bad as the hanging, because I think you could fold stuff and drop it on those shelves, but it's not great in my opinion. I've done it before. I think putting the shoes on these side flanks is, excuse me, I don't know what happened there. I think it's a way better decision. Okay, I think, you know, it looks awkward, it looks unorthodox, but you'll get used to it, and you will get way more pairs of shoes on there with much easier access. These are as good as redundant in my opinion, but it's your call. Okay, let's go to the utility room. I've got a great solution here. These are reversible shelf trays. That is pressed steel sheet, nice and white. You can use them in this orientation like a shelf, or you can use them in this orientation so it has this little lip and you've got a tray there. That is actually a discontinued product, but my supplier has stock. That is the 250 deep, that's the 100 deep. Now it might be that I want to put a backboard on here to fix this to, and don't worry, that end piece there will be trimmed off. You've told me this is 135 centimetres high by 600 wide as a maximum. There could be all sorts of wires and things behind this, so in my price I've included a backboard on here, which will give me a surface to fix on. Okay, let's keep moving and let's talk about wardrobe. I don't know whether you meant a shelf down here, which is, it's doable. Again, ignore the fact I've got bits hanging off here, that will be trimmed on site. Or did you mean a shelf here. Either of those designs are doable. It's also worth noting that if this is for shoes, Elfa make a floor standing shoe carrier, and I'll send you a link to that because I don't have a model of it, so I can't drop it in there. But if the idea of this is just to raise shoes off the floor, there's probably better ways of doing that. Okay, both of those designs show a 300 deep shelf. It could be 400, I think 500. Access underneath gets a bit difficult, but let me know what you think. Okay, I think that's everything. I think that's the 4 spaces covered now. We need to be reasonably brisk with our decision making. I haven't repriced everything because we're in the same ballpark I advised before. It isn't going to change that much, so let's just focus on getting the design right from this point. Okay, speak soon. Bye bye.